It tasted really good, and of course, it tasted really good. And the cachaça, okay, the cachaça is, did I say it right? What's cooking, lovely people? Hope y'all are doing good. Welcome back to this channel, Explore the Senses for a Life Worth Living. Now today's episode, it's really special for me because I love barbecue. I mean, who doesn't? Of course, there's the vegans, vegetarians, but I freaking love barbecue. And we went to try Bolero Brazilian barbecue, the rodizio style. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. Now, of course, this place falls under the casual dining category. So, let's see how was the experience. The atmosphere was really nice. It screams barbecue. It screams rodizio. It's a dark mood. Everything is wood. They've got nice booths. And they've also got big tables, big dining group tables. I mean, the atmosphere was spot on. It's what you would expect from a steakhouse, from a barbecue resto. And oh my God, there was lots of people. That place was crazy busy. By the time, while we were still there sitting, I've seen some tables flip twice and it was still busy. So I could say it was a full house, and that's why the atmosphere was nice. There were so many people mingling, talking, friends, cheering. The atmosphere was perfect, I'll tell you that. So, of course, going to that place, you're gonna get the set menu, which is the full rodizio. You're not gonna order some stuff on the menu. You're just gonna get the whole thing, right? Because you're there for the experience, or else you would go somewhere else. In the beginning, I started with the Caipirinha. And for the rodizio, we started with the Picanha. Then we moved to the alcatra. Following that was the Fraldinha. And then the caramelized pineapple. Then we got some baby back ribs. And then some chicken and pork sausages. And then the bacon wrapped beef sirloin. And then chicken wings. And then the parmesan crusted pork loin. And we finished with the tres leche cake. The Caipirinha. Description: cachaça, muddled lime, and sugar. So it's basically like a mojito. It was so good and so refreshing, and exactly what you expect from an aperitif, to be acidic with a touch of sweetness. The cachaça is the main liquor figure in Brazil. It's, I believe, their national liquor. It's really good. It tastes a bit like rum or tequila. It's made out of sugar canes. Not the molasses though. Rum is made out of the molasses. It's made out of this sugar canes. And yeah, it was really nice and soothing too.
You're drinking here is the Caipirinha. So you don't have the traditional one, but it's a classic Brazilian cocktail. You'll drink that before the rodizio. What makes it unique is the cachaça. It's a Brazilian rum. Comes from the sugar cane. It's got a little tequila component to it as well. Really refreshing drink. A nice way to start before your rodizio.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
So now I'm gonna... So, Picanha, or top sirloin cap. I'm sure it's not for everyone. It's such a meaty, strong, rich iron flavor. Full of juiciness given the fat content in it, which makes it really tender if cooked right, which is of course kept under medium. Unfortunately, this cut is sometimes hated by some people, you know, because they're not used to that rich, meaty flavor. I mean, get used to it. You'll get used to it. It's really nice. It takes time for sure to develop that flavor on your palate, to start liking it, to look into that depth of flavor in a meat cut. But yeah, like I feel sad some people sometimes overlook the good part in it and just use a different cooking technique and overcook it, like roasting it or slow cooking it. But yeah, definitely you have to know how to cook it to taste good and to have a good texture, to the right texture. But if done properly, like it was here, it's perfecto, perfetto. I don't know how they say it in Portuguese.
Perfeita. Perfeito.
Is it a perfeita or a perfeito? Let's see if meat is a girl or a boy, if it's masculine or feminine. Okay, so meat in Portuguese is carne. Is carne masculine or feminine? There you go. Carne is feminine. That's why I enjoy it. Okay, so I forgot what I was doing in the beginning. Okay, yeah. It's perfetta. Perfetta. We moved on to the alcatra. It's right under the picanha. It's still a part of the top sirloin. It comes with a lower fat content than the picanha. That's why it's a bit less juicy and it could be on the tougher side. That's why this one too should be kept on a low internal temperature, even less than a medium. I would go for a medium rare or rare. It tasted really good. I mean, the people who cooked it are honestly professional with handling the meat. They kept it on the right temperature and it was still juicy and tender. So, chapuba. And then we moved to the Fraldinha, located at the bottom of the sirloin, referred to in English as the skirt, which is thinner, lighter, and longer than the flank steak. It's usually a low-fat cut, and if not cooked properly, it tends to be really tough because of its long, thick fibers. But it was cooked on high heat for a short period of time, which kept it moist on the inside. And when served, it was cut thinly against the grain, which kept it tender. Love me tender. And that tart, tangy flavor from the garlic parmesan crust. What was it again? Perfetta. Perfetta. Baby back ribs. Smoky glazed flavor. Tender meat. Properly seasoned. What's to hate? It was delicious. Perfetta. Actually, I need to find something else. We'll do it on the next round though. Chicken and pork sausages. Chicken sausage. I mean, I always say it. Never let the chicken be in a sausage. It's so dry. I don't know why people keep on doing it. I feel like it's a lost cause. It's just, I don't know, unless you're gonna add pork to it to get some juiciness, but then what's the point? You could just right away serve pork sausage. So I don't know, I don't see the point of chicken sausage, not just here, anywhere on earth. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, flavor, it was good, but texture, dry. And the flavor, you could still get it from the pork and also better. It tastes better. Moving on to the pork sausage. Flavor, great. Texture, great. Juiciness, great. But it's not a linguiça. And they advertised on their menu that they sell, actually, that the linguiça is their sausage that comes in the rodizio. Now, I don't know if they were out of linguiça. Maybe because of COVID, they're not able to import linguiça from Brazil. I don't know what's the reason. But when I'm going to a Brazilian barbecue, I'm going for the picanha and the linguiça and the caramelized pineapple. Those are the three things that I go for. And unfortunately, I wasn't served one of those things, which is the linguiça. A lot of people are gonna say, well, it's also pork sausage. No, the way that they do it, it's amazing. And it's smoke-cured pork before it gets stuffed. So this is where the difference is made. And then they add the spices, smoked paprika, and all those garlicky flavors too. But it's not the same. And I've had linguiça in Brazil, and it's not your regular, it's not your everyday sausage. It's something to die for. So for me, that was a low ride on the roller coaster. And if you've ever had linguiça, please let me know down in the comments. What are your thoughts on that? Moving on, the caramelized pineapple. It's like a regular pineapple. The only difference is that it fell from heaven. So good, juicy, acidic, and guess what? I'm usually not big on fruit, but it serves its purpose on the rodizio because it's the best palate cleanser that you could ask for, because given all that acidity, the hint of sweetness to balance out the acidity. So just the perfect palate cleanser. That's why eat your pineapple, kids, when you're in a rodizio. Bacon wrapped sirloin. It was really good. I mean, sirloin, such a tender piece of meat, and bacon wrapped around it, deliciousness. It adds that smoky flavor to it too, so it's really good. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to film it because they came so quick without telling me, and they only brought it once, which was weird. So yeah, that's one of the issues I had with them, but we'll talk a bit more about that later in the video. Parmesan crusted pork loin. So good. Such a strong depth of flavor. Juicy. And that seared fat on the edge. With the amazing tart, tangy crust, like the Fraldinha too. The garlic and the Parmesan. Whew. Such a good crust. Chicken wings. Cajun spiced. Fall off the bone. Moist, juicy. And that piquant flavor at the end. Whew. Really, really good. And now, after all that savory food, we get to the tres leches cake. Tres means three. Leches, le in French, leches in Portuguese, milk in English. So the three milks. I guess it doesn't sound that nice in English. The three milks cake. Anyway, the description is traditional sponge cake soaked in condensed milk, whipping cream, and evaporated milk. Whew. Got goosebumps. It hit the spot. I mean, after all that fatty, meaty, salty, acidic at some points, spicy at some other points, funky at some other points with the Parmesan. So all this complexity of flavors, and then we move to that sweetness. It was really, really good, and it's not a dry cake, right? It's so moist because it's soaked in those three milks that I just told you about. So yeah, it was the perfect ending to the meal. And there were two fruit purees on the plate. I believe one of them is raspberry, the other is mango. I'm not really sure about that, but all that I remember, it's there was some acidity too on the plate just to balance that excessive sweetness, which was perfetta. But now I have to search if cake is feminine or masculine. Let's just stick with perfect. Caipirinhas, 8 Canadian dollars and 50 cents. The full dinner rodizio for $49. Last but not least, tres leche cake, 9 Canadian dollars. I felt like I was hosting the Prices Right. Rating time. Cleanliness and hygiene. Now, I saw them cook in front of me, and I also took a peek to the kitchen. For a barbecue area, which is, let's face it, the most dangerous area in a kitchen sometimes, because this is where you get, because you're dealing with raw meat, and this is where you get cross-contamination, you know, food poisoning and all that stuff. So they looked that they had it under control, and I saw the way they organized things. It was really good for a barbecue area. Perfect. It was really clean and nice. And even on the tables and everything else in the restaurant, it was really clean and nice, and servers would directly take dirty plates, or if there's anything on the table, they would clean it. So yeah, everything was clean. So for cleanliness and hygiene, I'm gonna give them 5 plates. Food and beverage. Food, delicious. The chefs knew what they were doing. You know, everything was cooked the right way. Every single cut of them had to be, of the meat had to be cooked in a different technique. And they've actually, I believe they've mastered that over the course of time and the experience, which is why everything came out perfect. Other than me not having linguiça there, food and beverage, Caipirinha was great. The whole rodizio, as I mentioned, really good, perfect. The tres leches in the end, the dessert was also perfect. So for this matter, I'm really gonna give them 5 plates. Service and hospitality. This is where I have problems. I just want to clarify though, the waiter that was on our table, he was perfect, and he has nothing to do with this one because he was really rapid, quick to move plates, to do everything, whatever we need, he was right there. But the meat servers, this is where the problem was. They took about 5 to 10 minutes sometimes between each skewer. They were cutting, they were giving us small portions. It was honestly, every cut that they were giving us, it was 2 bites. 2 bites, unless you ask for more. But sometimes you're busy talking or doing something, you don't ask for more. You know, and even when you ask more, they give you another 2 bite size, so all you got is 4 bites. So I have a problem with that. When I'm expected to pay, you know, $50 for an all you can eat, I want to use that, right? I want to benefit from the price that I'm paying to get the good value. Because yeah, I wasn't really, like, you know, when you have big gaps between every single thing that you eat, you start to feel full, right? Usually you eat everything, and this is when your stomach is going to send a signal to your brain that there's food inside, and it's going to want to start digesting. So it tells you that you're full. At this point, you take like those 2-3 bites, right? And then you have to wait 5-10 minutes. And then you get another selection of meat, and then you have to wait another 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, on average, that's what it felt, that's what it was. The time frame between every skewer. So that's something I didn't appreciate. I wasn't really happy with it. If because they were busy or something, there has to be some way to improve the service in this matter, because everything was really good. The food was really good, but unfortunately I didn't get to enjoy it the right way, the way I'm supposed to. Finish something, have the other one already in my plate. Finish something and then have the other one on my plate. You know what I mean? Because that's what the experience is based on. For this matter, I'm gonna give them 3 plates. Atmosphere. We go back to the beginning. As I told you, the atmosphere was amazing, and the place screams barbecue to you, screams a steakhouse to you. So they nailed that. And I loved how they're not cooking inside a kitchen. I mean, they're far from the people, because people, when they leave, they don't want to smell all char and smoke, right? But you could still see them with your eyes. You could still look at them and see them there cooking, smoke coming out. There's some flames when the tiny drip of fat falls, and then there's all that smoke and flame. That adds so much to the atmosphere. which is perfect. And also, people love to see live cooking. So that makes a really big difference. And yeah, it just adds to the experience so much. For this reason, I'm gonna give them 5 plates. Prices and value. The drink, the Caipirinha, was a fair price. The tres leches, also a fair price given the ingredients that are in it, right? And the rodizio is fair. If I want to be straight and honest, $49 for all you can eat meat, it's fair. But unfortunately, I didn't get this experience because of the delay that kept on happening between every skewer that I was receiving. I got to a point I barely ate 1.5 steak or maximum in total 2 steaks. Between the ribs, it's mostly bones, right? And wings too. Sausages, they're small. And you know, the other cuts of meat, like I'm telling you, all of that barely came to 1 steak. And the other cuts with the bones, that's like half a steak or another steak, let's say. And I pay that $50, that $49, you know, to get that kind of experience. I'm not looking to eat 2 steaks or something, then I would go dine somewhere else if that's the case. But I was going for the whole experience, and unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to embrace that experience because of, you know, what happened. Hopefully, they work on that. Hopefully, they change it. And I definitely recommend this place, and I would personally go back there. But I would make sure to tell them that please don't do like last time and have those big time gaps between each and every skewer that was served, the servings of meat. So for this matter, I'm gonna give them 3 plates. So the total rating is, drum roll, 4.25 plates. So you guys, if you're like me and you love barbecue, especially Brazilian barbecue, let me know down in the comments. Also, if you've ever been to that place, try their food, try their experience, make sure to also let me know down in the comments what are your thoughts on that. So thanks for making it to the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like if you did, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and make sure to follow us on the social media platforms too. And I guess I'll see you on the next one.